No doubt, no doubt. And to respond to all of you guys, this is a copycat league. Last year we was a little conservative, although you did say that we were aggressive, but we were aggressive in a conservative way last year. We lost Amari Cooper, we lost Cedric Wilson, and our replacement button was, y'all say it with me, James Washington. So they got a chance to see what the Eagles did last season. They went and got a Hassan Reddick. They made sure that they made some acquisition, dare I say, was not all the way pleased with my guy Zach Pascal, for crying out loud. They had an A.J. Brown. They went and got Kaiser Wright. So now the Cowboys looking at it like, shoot, they went 12-5 last year with a guy by the name of Noah Brown. The number one wide receiver out there was my guy CeeDee Lamb and Dennis Houston week 1. So, of course, the Cowboys looked at that and said, you know what? Let's not fall into the same traps. Let's go ahead and go get a Brandon Cooks who averaged 1,000 yards a season when the quarterback is healthy, okay? Or even whatever quarterback that you got back there, even me. You can put me in the helmet and pad, and I can throw the ball and get him 1,000 yards. So they said, okay, let's just pump the brakes. Let's go ahead and get Dak Prescott some weapons. On top of that, let's not put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound, right? And re-sign up Anthony Get Down Brown. Let's go and get a Stephon Gilmore, and let's also solidify the interior with a big Jonathan Hankins, reading him up, and as well as going into this draft pool to draft Amari. So this is all aggressive move. This is also seeing that, hey, if your team went 12-5 with those boys last year, let's see what we can really do if we put weapons around, said Dak Prescott. So I want to ask you guys, is this a good situation for us? It's a rhetorical question.
And I will say this, very good, very good. But I will say this. Let me just say this real quick.
Yeah.
Then we go back to RJ, what he was saying in January.
Uh-huh.
Because he said a lot of good stuff. I stopped it right there on purpose, though, because he said some more stuff. We going to get into that. But did they get their lick back from Amari? Come on now, let's be honest. Because we all know that they dropped the ball on Amari. Letting him go for a fit was
oh hell no.
That was horrible. It was garbage. Trash.
RJ, before you answer that, can you add in the fact that Cedric Wilson, he could have been just as much of a big miss for us because he had 6 touchdowns. He had about 700 yards. Passer rating when targeted was 122, by the way. And on top of that, he was that missing piece. He was that guy that was the 5th option, moved up to the 3rd option, and didn't look like he skipped a beat. So can you expound on that?
Did they get their league back from this standpoint? Hear me out. So we got fleeced, and we fleeced ourselves, right? With Amari. But then we turn around and do stuff we haven't done in a while, where we fleece teams back. We gave up a fit and got a former defensive player of the year, and like you said, a consistent 1,000-yard receiver converted to a number 2 that's gonna do damage. Did we get our lid back, RJ?
I mean, nothing will ever undo it. You know, like I'll never not be pissed off that they traded Amari. You know, like I will never, like, you know, I don't know that they win, but like they stand a better chance in San Francisco after Pollard's hurt if Amari's there, right? You know, I mean, Law mentioned, I mean, again, like that's not a joke. Like the week 1 receivers were CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, and Dennis Houston. I mean, you know, that's and they made that bed. And kudos to them. Kudos to Mike McCarthy for, you know, finding a way to win games and obviously in spite of that and obviously in spite of Dak's injury and all sorts of things. Like they've earned their props, they've earned their flowers, whatever saying you want to give them. But what I will give them credit for is atonement, is, you know, learning. I mean, I think that they realized they stepped in it. You know, I don't need them to come out and have a walk of shame and tell us how stupid it was. We're all adults. We can all understand it. But the trading for Cooks, that's why that's my favorite move of the offseason, because that is an admission of like, okay, like we get it. I mean, it didn't even take trading for Cooks. I mean, look, we like 3rd and 30 will be a special moment in all of our minds and memories forever. But the fact that they had to bring in T.Y. Hilton in December was concrete proof that they had messed up, you know, and that they knew that they were flirting with Odell and all that stuff. So I give them their props for, you know, in their own way, publicly apologizing. I'll take Brandon Cooks now. I guess we're even, but yeah, it will always be done.